Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fathimah Azzahra, NIM 13. Okay, in here I want to present about my thesis proposal with the title Rebellion of Teenage in Wild Child Movie 2008, directed by Nick Moore, an individual psychological approach. Okay, next. In my thesis proposal, I want to. There are three chapters. The first chapter includes about the background of the background of study, problem statement, limitation of the study, objective of the study, and benefit of the study. So in the chapter 2, I want to discuss about the previous study. So the next about the underlying theory. So the last in the chapter 3, I want to discuss about type of the study, object of the study, type of data, and data search. So method of collecting data and technique of analyzing data. So in the chapter 1, I want to show you about my background of the study. The first, I want to discuss about the definition of juvenile delinquency. Why I want to discuss about the juvenile of delinquency? Because I think that rebellion of teenage in the is included in the category of juvenile delinquency, which is caused by several aspects. And also after I discuss about the juvenile delinquency, I want to provide the understanding to the reader the effect of teenage and the rebellion. So and also and the last, I want to discuss about the Wild Child movie on my background of study. Okay, in my thesis proposal, I have two problem statements that are: the first, how is the rebellion depicted to achieve what the major character wants in the Wild Child movie? So the next, what was the effect on the rebellion carried out by the major character in the Wild Child movie, in the Wild Child film? Okay, so the next, in the chapter 2, the first I discuss about the previous study, because I difficult to find the literature about the literature study about Wild Child movie. In here, there are two types of studies on Wild Child movie, that are linguistic study and literature study. So there are 7 researchers who studied Wild Child movie in the linguistic study. The first is Kusuma Wardai, 2014, with the title Politeness Strategies of Female Teenage in a Wild Child Movie. And the result of this research is there are 4 kinds of politeness strategy was found in this research, namely balance on record, positive politeness, negative politeness, and off record. So the next, Daro Ihsan, 2017, with the title An Analysis of Taboo Words in Wild Child Movie. This study are the use of taboo word used by the character in the film Wild Child and the difference in taboo word used between British and Americans in the film. So the next, there is Istiqomah 2013. The problem discussed in the study are what maxims are violated in the utterance of the main character in the Wild Child movie, in the exposition and conflict plot. So the next, there's Marvina 2016. The problem discussed in the study is the use of language feature used by women, and also finding the function of each language feature used by women in Wild Child films. So the next, there is Colby 2013. The problem discussed in this research are the types of electionary character used by the main character in Wild Child and the purpose of this electionary acts used in the Wild Child film. So the next, there is De la My Violencia 2014. The problem discussed in the study are the use of English slang in the text and how the slang is translated into Indonesian in the Wild Child film. So the next, there is Fitahul Mawada 2011. The problem discussed in this study are the sociolinguistic aspect of crude language in the film Wild Child. So the next, about the Sofa Tunisa 2017. In this research, the writer discussed the problem of some of the development of the main character in the Wild Child film. I think this research is include to literature study. So the next, there is Quine Cho 2011. there is the problem discussed in the article are if much of the second wave of feminist discourse rejects femininity as a man-made product, and if the new feminism opposes this political position by reclaiming and reconstituting femininity, then how will this device relationship be rooted in Hollywood cinema? So the next, there is Daan Ahmad, 2016. The problem that stands out of this study is about teenage rebellion in James Patterson and Chris Tibet's novel, The Worst Years of My Life, namely Rev as the major character in this novel. So the last, there is Wardani, 2010. The result of this study that Alan Calder seeks to express the idea that a person has a rebellious soul as a result of past events based on the structural analysis. So according to the theory, the study is finding suggests that Tyler's disobedience was impacted by himself according to Freudian interpretation. So in the chapter 1, the next I want to discuss about underlying theory. In this underlying theory, I have 4 sub. The first, I want to discuss about the notion of individual psychology. So the next, I want to discuss about the major principle of individual psychology. They are inferiority feeling and compensation. So the second, there is fiction finalism. The third, there is striving for superiority. So the fourth, there is social interest. The fifth, there is of style of life, and the sixth, creative self. So the next, I want to give understanding about the notion of juvenile delinquency. So and then the last, I want to discuss about the rebellion and adolescence. In this sub, I want to discuss about what is adolescence and the rebellion of adolescence. Okay, next, in the chapter 3, I want to discuss about type of study, object of study, type of data and data source, so the method of collecting data. So and then type of my study is qualitative research. So the next, object of study, there are 2. I want to discuss about the object of study. The first is the material object. I think in my thesis, the material object is about the Wild Child movie. So the formal object that will be discussed in this study is about the teenage rebellion. So the next, type of data and the data source. In this study, the researchers divided the data source into 2 categories. The first is primary data. The primary data in this research is Wild Child movie. The data are in the form of scene performed in the film, characterization in the film, the dialogue used by each player as seen from the film movie script, and several image captures taken according to the theory used in the study. So the second is secondary data. The secondary data is usually taken from several reference book, journal, and scientific article related to the literary studies research. So the next of method of collecting data. In this research, use a documentation method to collect all data. In this method, there are several techniques used to collect the data. The first was the film in the several times for more understanding. So the next is taking the notes about the important thing when I was watch the film. So the next, capture several scene. So and then after I got many information when I watch the film, I can make a conclusion for my finding. Okay, the last, okay, I think it's enough about my presentation. I'm sorry if I have any mistake in my presentation, and last I say to you, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.